Hey, it's Chris over at Dixieland Farm, and it is Halloween 2020. 2 days ago, tropical storm, was it Zeta? It was Hurricane Zeta. I don't know, does it get downgraded and keep the name? But blew through here, and we lost some trees, we lost some fence, we lost part of the roof of this building right here, but I put that back on. We were without power for 32 hours. The generator got our water going, but the generator died, so I just had to order a new generator. Yeah, so I couldn't bring out the camera when we were having the issues because I needed to deal with it. But let's take a look at the trees. So here's one of the trees that went down. There's actually one out in the pasture, but I was able to, with the tractor, push it down into a ravine. Some of you may have remembered when we burnt down the one hay building that was collapsing. We got 3 tractor trailers now that are filled with hay. So that is our hay storage, which is it's closer and it actually stores more hay. So you can see this fence is starting to fall in. I'm hoping we can maybe shore it up with T-posts, otherwise we're gonna have to do something else. But this fence is gone. So we're going to replace this side with the electro braid rope fence. I think we're gonna keep this section, even though it's kind of weird. It just doesn't make sense to pull all this out for no reason. So we'll just take it from this point on. We also lost part of our outdoor ring fence here, so we're gonna have to replace that. We have an auger for the tractor, so we can drill the holes in and put the posts in, but we'll have to redo this section. And this section was kind of falling in anyway, so it probably is time just to go ahead and replace from there backwards. So unrelated to the storm damage, you can see the fence is getting a little droopy over here, and it's actually getting really close to the grass, and the grass is actually starting to pull some of it down. So we're going to sink a couple of T-posts in. These are the metal T-posts. If you're wondering why they're called T-posts, is see, make the letter T. What you use is this this driver, and it just sink it into the ground. But you do have to be careful. This finger can't really see it anymore, but I cut off part of the tip. I actually took the tip of the finger kind of off the finger using the T-post driver. I was driving it down and it slipped, and then the bottom basically acted like an axe and cut part of that finger, and it just kind of pulled it right off the bone, and they had to put it back. And I've lost feeling right there on the edge. It's always tingling now. So you do have to be careful. Parker, it's going to get noisy, so I hope you are prepared for that. Alright, so the T-posts are in, and I feel much better about that. Yeah, so you can see how easy T-posts go in. It makes the job so much easier, which is what we did in the back pasture. Let's take a look. So here we are in the back pasture, and we've got trees that come here, and then woohoo! There's one down, there's another down. And here are the T-posts. What we ended up doing was we ended up just taking pasture and splitting it. We used the line that would normally close up that section, just took it off, ran it straight across, and you can actually see it kind of dangling. The excess that we had wasn't too much. So yeah, we lost all that space for the moment. That's the thing with, you know, trees, they look pretty, but I mean, with the fence line, they're a hassle. It's such an expense. It's such an expense to get these trees, and they're just cutting them and moving them. We're going to have to do this in 2 phases. The first tree in the paddock, the horses are going to go out in the paddocks in about a month. See, during winter time, they would just tear up this pasture and get rid of all the grass, and it would just turn to mud, and then weeds would take over. So we take them off the pastures in the winter. So in about a month, in December, a little before Christmas, they'll be off this. So there's no rush really to go and get these trees out of here. But the paddock, yes. So we're going to have the paddock done, pay for that, wait a month or 2, then have them come and take this, because it's thousands and thousands of dollars to get all this done. And I can't do it. I'm too old for it. With shoulder surgery, they're just massive. I don't have the time. So it just is what it is. It's all part of owning a farm. So the electro braid fence, though, is fantastic. That's the nice thing about this. So we've got trapped underneath. Just take a pair of scissors, cut it, reroute it. Use these things called split bolts, which tie down and hold the rope together and electrify that section, because it's copper and it makes a connection, and it's done. So for horses, electro braid can't be beat. But electro braid's expensive too, and it does go bad after a while. Just weather. So yeah, let's go and start chopping up some wood down at the barn on the thing we call the bridge. That's where we would walk the horses. All right, Goose. Chris, didn't you say the generator was broken? It was. So I took the oil cap off and oil just kept pouring out of it. After the pressure calmed down, I was able to finally get it to pull. But it smelled the oil and it smelled like gas. All of the oil was filled with gas. So that's not good. So I drained the oil. All the gas is gone. Started it up. After I put new oil in, it's cranking. Doesn't mean anything. Could be a temporary thing, or it's going to work. I already ordered the new generator. That's fine, because we don't have a generator for the house or for the main barn. So at the worst of it, I have a second generator and a brand new one to make sure that we have water. Well, another successful small engine repair, my chainsaw. So the chainsaw oiler wasn't working, and I just went ahead and cleaned out the whole thing, and now we've got oil and everything's good. I think I do need a new bar and chain, so I will be ordering that. But other than that, I think we got this guy back to life. And the repairs just keep on coming. So this trimmer, which also is a pole saw and a chainsaw blade thing, and also a tree trimmer, bush trimmer. The fuel line was no good. So I had to pull that out and put it in. And it still wasn't working right, but eventually I got it going. Yeah, it looks like Marissa and everyone's back from the horse show. All right, that's it for today. We're going to go into town, pick up some more T-posts, pick up dinner, bring it back. So that's it for now. Well, it is another day, and you can see we are making progress. The T-posts were able to shore up that fence, so we are going to leave that for now. And then on this side, I'm sinking T-posts in, and I'm just about ready to hook up some rope, electro braid. It's not going to be actually electrified, but the horses don't know that, to act as a barrier. So you can see the T-posts that we installed. It's not perfect, but it'll do. So we can figure out maybe something else, or maybe it'll just last, and we won't have to even think about it. And I just put another one in here in between the trailers, just to make sure the horses don't decide to try to make an exit. Again, it's not perfect, but this will be fine. Just finishing up the oil change on the truck. And then I've got to take some hay out of the tractor shed, put some in the red barn, and then put some in the main barn, which is on the other side. What farm life is all about. Doing stuff. A lot of stuff. Hay is stacked in the barn. Very glad that a couple of weeks ago I repaired the roof. I don't think it's going to show up, but see that dark spot? That's where water was coming in and landing on the hay and ruining it. So what I ended up doing was climbing up there and drilling a bunch of screws in to hold the flashing down. The flashing was coming up, and then I also put a whole gallon of roofing tar, which roofing tar is terrible to work with. And it's not a great fix. For a house, I would never recommend it. For a farm and a barn, it's okay. So it's just real thick tar, like what would be on the street almost, you know, that kind of consistency. And you put it on, and it's very sticky, and then it kind of forms a watertight seal. But the problem is, over time, cooling and heating and the sun it makes it crack. So all that work that you did, it just kind of eventually will fail. So, and it's not pretty either, but for a farm, it's fine. But I think this is where I'm going to end it. Thanks for hanging out with me on the farm. I've got more stuff to do, and I'm going to go do it. But Dixieland Farm, take care.